Hey, we're back. We're back. Bruce and Rick here. We're here on a Thursday, taking over the hot seat in the office for Brian, who's traveling today and tomorrow. Tomorrow, normally you'll see us, if you tune in on Fridays, you see us from either Circuit World, a phenomenal sponsor, good people over there. JR, Jamie, and the gang.
And Jeremy.
Jeremy, yep. Jeremy with his Tennessee hat on, right?
Yeah.
We won't hold that against you, Jeremy.
Thing, but,
yeah. That's where we winter. Some people go to Florida, we go to Circuit World. But in the summer and the spring, when the weather's nice, we go over to Sycamore Crossing.
We have to get out of those loungers. You know, you have to get out and sit in the sun. But
I know.
They have some nice loungers there if you're in the market.
I mean, I get down in that stuff at Circuit World, and I can barely get out of there. The cushions are so deep and comfortable. But speaking of comfortable, we've got some new chairs over at Sycamore Crossing that we enjoyed for the first time a couple of weeks ago. And tomorrow, Bruce and I will be on set. Tomorrow, again, Brian out of town. Lauren Hunter, who does instant replay on Mondays at 10:10, right here on the right here in this studio with Dave Garner. She will be hosting the show tomorrow, and we've got the regulars. We've got Ask the Doc with Dr. Bill Whaley from the Northside Cancer Institute. Is that right? Yep. And then we'll have.
Is he going to be there tomorrow?
He will.
Okay, good.
Doc will be there tomorrow.
But Jane won't be.
No, Jane will be.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
change up.
Big surprise. Jane will be joining us tomorrow.
Okay.
She was scheduled to go out of town on Thursday evening, but just for you and myself.
Et voila.
She will be joining us tomorrow morning on the couch.
Good.
At Sycamore Crossing to have another rendition of the All-Star panel. Then, of course, Jesse Barton comes in and talks about senior living
in North Georgia.
In North Georgia, yep. And then closing out the show will be the star of the show, the pet of the week from the Humane Society of Blue Ridge, and Rena will be there hopefully with a furry friend that's looking for a home. So tune in tomorrow if you want to see us again. If you don't, you can always catch us by replay. And how do they catch us by replay, Josh? Show them how they can get a hold of this show. They can put up that, catch us on YouTube. You can tweet to Fetch Your News at FYNTV, or you can get us on Instagram at FYNTV at Fetch Your News. So
if they don't want to see us, why would they go to replay?
Well, if they don't want to catch us live, I know they want to see us. Yeah, that's a given, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to disparage you and I after doing all this hard work. It's not really that hard. It's a lot of fun sometimes, but
indeed,
try to make it relevant. And speaking of relevant, we've got a new
breaking news.
A new contender. Wait, before we go to the contenders, speaking of contenders,
okay,
this is a big day, isn't it?
It is a big day.
This is a big day. The 18th
of
July was the big reveal day for the new C8 Chevrolet Corvette.
Yes.
And there it is in
camo.
In camo. That's about the best we can do until later when they have the big official reveal. General Motors and the Chevrolet division of General Motors have been talking how many years about putting a mid-engine car
ever since the first one came out. I mean, ever since 1953. I mean, they've been talking about mid-engine, and they've gone through about 8 or 10 models that never made it.
Yeah, 8 or 10 iterations, and finally, and I think they're keeping both the C7, which is the current front engine.
No,
that's going away.
C7 is gone.
It is gone.
It is gone. Front engine, rear drive, gone.
I thought they were
the very last one off the production line auctioned off. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
$2.1 million.
Yike!
This is a $70,000, maybe $80,000 car optioned out. The last one made.
Did they say who bought it? What's the guy in North Carolina that owns all the dealerships? That's got the most unbelievable Corvette collection you've ever seen.
You know that better than me.
He's a NASCAR guy also.
A driver?
No, he's an owner.
Owner.
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe Josh will come up with that. But how much?
2.1 million.
What's that car going to cost, Bruce? You research this more than I do.
The C8, the new one?
Yeah.
They are.
There's a pretty wide disparaging range, right?
No. They say the base model on this is probably going to be, you know, 5,000 to 7,000 more than the C7, you know, which I think was like,
that was $59,000.
Yeah, the base model. So yeah, they're thinking high 60s, 70. You know, they say they have to keep it in that area to, you know, keep Corvette people coming back.
I think that's going to be popular, don't you?
I think it will be. I mean, you know, again, you got to wait till you really see it in paint and everything, but. You know, the spoiler on it looks a little ostentatious, you know, but they're all working on downforce. That's why they have spoilers. So, you know, that car is probably going to be in easily the 170 to 185 mile an hour top end speed. Not that you can do it anywhere but a track. So
Josh, the guy in the control room who's always got our back, came up with Rick Hendricks.
Okay.
Rick Hendricks has the most unbelievable Corvette collection that you will ever see in your life. I mean, he's got everything from, you know, convertibles to hardtops to T-tops.
All years?
All years.
Oh, boy.
Every year is represented from 53 on. I was fortunate enough to do some work on a 54 Corvette, second year they were made. And
was that the red one you were
it was actually polo white. Polo white. It was a barn find in Pennsylvania that a friend of mine bought and had absolutely no inclination or ability to turn a wrench. So he said, if I buy it, will you build it? And I did and had a lot of fun with it, much to the chagrin of my wife because it took up a spot in our garage in Chicago during the winter, and she had to park outside, get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and head to school in the morning on those winter days. It was tough. So,
but it was interesting because the Corvette, of course, is a lot of you probably know it's fiberglass, and you had fiberglass, sort of a precursor, building a canoe in your father-in-law's garage.
God, you're resurrecting old memories. Yeah. I worked in a clothing store and
fabric resin.
That's right, fabric resin, bamboo. Cut the slats, cut the gunnels. Anyway, that's another story for another day. But you know, this car that we're looking at right now, and it's tough to tell the exact lines because of the white and black camo. You know, they take them around. This car was pictured on the streets of New York, even in this same badge. But it reminds me of a Ferrari 458.
Yeah. The front light treatment, looks very identical.
And the scoop, the scoop in front of the rear wheels.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of mid-engine cars have that side scoop.
You've got a mid-engine car.
I do have a mid-engine car, and you know they handle fantastically because the weight is so balanced.
The weight distribution is going to be so much better than the front wheel. Even though the Corvette, you know, the C7 was a phenomenally popular.
Oh, very popular. I mean, the Corvette division is one of the most, I think, profitable of the General Motors divisions. Well,
you know, we're spending probably too much time on this, but it's fun to talk about.
Yeah, and again, I don't know if this is going to come out in the rear wheel or all wheel or whatever kind of drive train configuration, but it will be interesting to see the finished model.
I got to believe it's all wheel.
I would think, but you never know.
Yeah.
So we'll see. So we'll hopefully, you know, maybe by tomorrow, you know, we'll get some pictures in red, white, and blue or something.
So maybe maybe Josh can surprise us that if we find it, we'll send it to him and we can show the reveal picture tomorrow.
Yep.
You know, Chevrolet came out with a little teaser a couple of days before. They showed the steering wheel. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that.
The configuration of the steering wheel is very
squared off,
very F1. Okay. Formula One looking.
Okay.
It's squared off, and it's got the top is very wide open, so you can see the full instrumentation, and it's got big paddle shifters on it.
Okay.
So that car's only going to be offered in
automatic.
Automatic, yeah.
Yeah, probably double clutch transmission, but no stick for those of you who like to shift it on your own.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, good luck with the Corvette. I think it'll do well. I'm hopeful that. What's your prognostication on the leftover C7s? You think they're gonna plummet in value and then come back? Like,
hard to say. I mean, because they make a lot of them. It's not like it's a extremely limited production model. So I don't think they'll probably do as well as everyone thinks. I mean, people will get used to this car and the way it handles and looks, and the other ones will kind of be looked at as dinosaurs.
What's going to be interesting is to see what kind of premium the dealers put on the thing.
Yeah.
When it first comes out, you want to be the first on your block, folks.
Yeah.
Be prepared to probably spend up to 50% premium on the MSRP price of that car.
And just to belabor it some more, folks, they are keeping the Stingray name and
the look too.
Yeah, they have a sort of a new little logo for the Stingray Corvette, so it should be interesting.
Well, they call that, didn't they call that a Scorpion or something like that? Whatever they call it. But,
well, it's a stylized Stingray, with the arms and the long stinger. So
yeah,
go out and buy one, folks. You can
go out and buy one. Yeah, see if any of our sponsors, Day Chevrolet and Jasper, see if they're the first one in North Georgia to have one. I think they're probably the largest dealer around. I don't know if Holt is any bigger, but Day Chevrolet is a sponsor. So if you want a Corvette, go buy a C7 from them at a reduced rate, or go get a C8.
Yeah.
But be prepared to
spend big ones,
to pay premium pricing.
We maybe should get them to roll one into Sycamore Square. Like we could do a segment.
You know what? Fox does that on Fox and Friends in the morning. They always have these car shows out there, and I always just drool to see some of the cars.
Wouldn't it be great to see a C8 that's sitting out there?
That would be very cool. We could do a little.
Josh, get Brian to work on that, would you?
Yeah. Yeah, I got it. Josh says, I got it. I'm on it. Anyway, speaking of new on the block, what about Tom Steyer? Tom Steyer,
who dat?
The self-professed liberal social activist. There he is there, who's been coming after Trump forever and has been spending millions of dollars on a campaign to impeach Trump.
Yep.
This, folks, is a guy that you really want to research because you just, again, follow the money trail with this guy. I don't know whether he's going to be able to crack the next debate that they have. I don't know if he's going to.
Yeah, I'm not sure timing-wise if he's going to do it. I mean, money-wise, he'll be fine because he's spending his own money.
He's got
$100 million. He said he's committed to this campaign.
Yeah, he's got a net worth, an advertised net worth of 1 point something billion dollars.
Got a few bucks.
Yeah, left coast, liberal. And when you
lives in California.
Yeah, when you do the research on him, they say that he is probably second only to George Soros in money spent with for candidates that he wants to see in place.
Yeah, he supported a lot of very progressive candidates in the last two election cycles.
Right.
But now he's going to support
himself.
Where
did he get his dough?
He got his dough. He runs a hedge fund, which I assume he's still active in. Probably hasn't stepped away from that. And I'm not sure exactly what they've invested in. Hedge funds typically, spread their money all around. But rumor has it he's done quite a bit in coal and pipelines.
Peter Schweitzer, who is a brilliant author, I think, and is featured a lot on Hannity, brings him out a lot. Tucker Carlson will feature Peter Schweitzer. He did. Didn't he write the book Clinton Cash?
He did.
Yeah, and then he's got another one out right now, which is basically a follow the money trail, and he does a really, really insightful segment on this guy. And you can even go to YouTube and put Peter Schweitzer, Tom Steyer, coal. When Obama was president, do the research, look it up if you don't believe me. When Obama was president, this guy had a revolving door access to the White House.
This was the Obama who said, any coal company that tries to start up a new business is doomed. We're going to make it so difficult for you, you don't even want to spend the money.
So what did he do? He had his hedge fund. he was investing on every liberal cause that the Obama administration came up with in an effort to stifle coal. He was doing, and you've all heard this, you know, when I say smash and grab, what you think is, you know, a group of thugs, probably Antifa, I don't know, group of thugs running into a jewelry store with hammers,
yep,
and busting out the glass cases and grabbing all the Rolexes.
And running out with what they can carry.
Exactly, smash and grab. What he was doing is he would do the same thing, but he would do it in a legal way.
A gentlemanly way.
A gentlemanly way. Yes. He would go in and pick the bones. You describe it. Pick the bones of.
Yeah, I mean, you know, once Obama came out with this, a lot of the U.S. coal companies' stock prices went down. A few of them went into bankruptcy. There was a fair amount of consolidation in 2008 to 2010. And so this guy, having inside knowledge of what Obama was doing, I mean, he visited the White House regularly, would grab these guys when they were like very depressed stock prices. And despite what everyone says, I mean, coal used to be somewhere over 30% of the U.S. energy balance. They're down to, I think, 14% now. So, you know, the coal companies that survived have consolidated and done well. But this guy bought low, and as they've come back up, you know, he's, you know, made money all the way.
Making money hand over fist on someone else's adversity that he had inside knowledge about, having that inside track with the Obama White House.
Well, yeah, and it wasn't adversity that they created themselves. They were politically targeted. Let's remember that.
Yeah, exactly. And what else did he do? What did Obama do about the pipeline? He said, no Keystone Pipeline.
After his State Department had approved it, and then got it kicked back again because politically targeted.
Do the research on this one, folks. You're going to find that Tom Steyer had a huge investment in a competing pipeline to Keystone. And what did that do? As soon as Obama said, we're going to stall the Keystone Pipeline, the value of his investment skyrocketed. And this is all pointed out in Peter Schweitzer's book and the narrative that he did, which is brilliant. I couldn't even try. I mean, I thought, well, you know, do I want to try to play that? No. Just we'll talk about it. We'll get it out there. And the best thing you could do is YouTube it, and you'll see that he was nothing but an opportunist who had declared that he was the world savior to the green energy crisis.
Yeah.
And
totally concocted.
Need to impeach Trump.
Totally concocted energy crisis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if we can just go a little farther with this. I mean, basically there is such a hubbub about, you know, electric cars and, you know, alternate renewable energy sources. I mean, still now, renewable energy is 9% of our energy balance. Petroleum is still 37%. Natural gas, which has taken market share from coal and petroleum, is 29%. But to put this all in context, I mean, there's been so much talk about, you know, 12 years, the planet's going to like implode and we're all going to die. We're not going to be able to breathe. Well, just to pop that bubble, in July 12th, there was a new report that was put out by scientists in Finland.
Oh, yeah.
And basically said during the last 100 years, the temperature increased about 0.1 degree centigrade because of carbon dioxide. The human
Say that again. How many years?
100 years.
100 years.
The temperature, the global temperature, has increased about 0.1 degree centigrade. 0.1 degree centigrade because of carbon dioxide. The human contribution to that, again, from this new Finnish research, also done in collaboration with the Japanese, the human contribution was 0.01 degrees centigrade, so almost undetectable.
How about cow farts?
Yeah, they're contributing a lot. So basically, you know, there's been this huge hubbub about anthropogenic global warming caused by man-made emissions. And what this new study has come out and said, that's interesting, but The fact of the matter is that there's other forces at work, solar impact, and something they are calling galactic cosmic rays affects the Earth climate by increasing cloud cover, causing an umbrella effect. So all this talk about us saving the world, while India and China increase their industrial emissions, they put more cars on the road, more emissions. We're cutting back, which economically is going to be blowing our leg off. Well, it's not going to make one bit of difference. So, gather your children, talk to everybody you know, and say this Green New Deal is, a bunch of fiction, and it's deliberately designed not to do with the climate. It's deliberately designed to harm the economic system, the capitalist system in this country. And, to chase after that, you do so at your own peril.
Let's get our house in order, folks. Let's get our infrastructure, upgraded. You saw what happened in New York. They had an alleged fire in a transformer, and the power outage for 7 million people.
Yeah, that got them squawking, didn't it?
Yeah, and guess where that power is probably coming from? Probably coming from a coal-fired plant.
Yeah. There's not a whole lot of gas-fired plants in New York,
especially the East Coast.
Nuclear.
Yeah, but and let me tell you what this translates to. Also, you can take all the progressive movement that you want out there by the squad, and I'm talking about AOC, especially talking about this Green New Deal and how all the progressives are hanging their hat on it. If you look at the list of important issues to voters, it is not even on the radar. Climate change.
But the big problem is the parents of children who are getting indoctrinated with this crap in schools.
They come home from school
and whinge to their parents, and then the parents go, "Oh, I got to do something, so I can't vote for this guy because he's for internal combustion engines, and he's for fossil fuels and all this sort of thing."
And what do? The parents cave.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Because they're friends with their kids. We'll get into that.
We will get into that.
I got something on that.
Yeah, good. So do I. And that's exactly what Walter said.
Ah.
It's not. Yeah, I mean the whole piece, the article that he wrote, is let me share the title with you because it'll dovetail right into what you're saying. Today's accepted behavior hasn't always been accepted.
Okay.
And it talks about parenting in here and everything else.
I got something from a teacher, and I got something from a millennial. That
you know what? That's a good segue into the second hour. I can't believe an hour's gone already.
Yeah, I mean, we're just rolling here.
Yeah. Well, we spent probably too much time on Corvettes, but that's our passion, right?
Hey, there's some people out there that are going to like
automobile aficionados. Yeah. 1 and 1A. Anyway, Bruce and I are glad to be here. We're filling in for Brian today at the office on the palatial 13th floor of FYN in downtown Ellijay, Georgia. I haven't seen a 13th floor.
I think we should have a search for that. If someone, they should give them a box of Chick-fil-A or something if they find it.
Chick-fil-A can be found in Ellijay, Georgia, folks. I wish we'd get one in Blue Ridge. We're surrounded by them. We've got one in Union County. We've got one in Kilmer County. But we need one in Fannin County. Can you work on that, Ms. Mayor? Anyway.
Josh, could you get Brian to work on that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's on it. That was the quickest response I've ever heard when it comes to Chick-fil-A. Anyway, you got to love those folks at Chick-fil-A, even though they only work 6 days a week.
Okay, but they put out a good product and great service.
Exactly. My pleasure to be bringing you that, by the way. That's an inside joke, and those of you who go to Chick-fil-A will catch on. Anyway, we're going to take a break for the cause. Please support the sponsors that support us, and we'll be back in a few, and we're going to talk a little bit about accepted behavior today that wasn't necessarily accepted when we were growing up.
Oh, boy.
We had to walk how many blocks to school, both uphill going both ways?
No, it was downhill coming home, but it was 3 blocks.
Anyway,
two
all right, take us to break, Josh. Thank you.